Greetings, everyone. This is Dr. Brian Scott. Welcome to Insight to the End Times. Really pleased to have you with us today. We're in the last week of October 2023, and a lot has happened in the course of this month as it pertains to end times and how close we're getting to the return of Jesus to the earth. In the book of 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1, we have studied these verses quite extensively. I do want to quote verse 1 to you once more. It says, "Know this, that in the last days perilous times will come. Extremely dangerous times are coming." I want to read some material from our newspaper. This is our Canadian newspaper, the National Post. And this is the Saturday, October 28th edition. The headline on page 1 is "Academia is Broken." And I want to read from an article here. It's an editorial. It's entitled, "Canada's Universities Need Fixing Fast." Now, the reason I want to share this with you is because we have biblical signs of the end time written about in the Bible, and we've studied them extensively. We are in our second year of these podcasts, so we've covered a lot of these verses. We've also covered world events, but we've had one of the most powerful world events occur in just the last month. On October the 7th, a Saturday morning, there were a terrorist group out of the Gaza Strip bordering Israel, crossed over into southern Israel with a vicious attack and slaughtered, killed about 1,400 people, mostly Jewish, but some visiting from other countries in a major music festival, as well as going into homes in the small settlements there and slaughtering people, executing them, dismembering them, raping the girls, the women, just horrendous things. And those events occurred about 3 weeks ago. The whole world is responding to them. In Canada and United States and around the world, we have all kinds of response occurring. These perilous times not only are in Israel, they have touched all of us. And I want to take a moment here to read some of these comments in the newspaper. And it's very serious. So let me read a few of these paragraphs to you today. This is an editorial, "Canada's Universities Need Fixing Fast." Introductory paragraph says, "When students and professors applaud murderers and rapists as academic administrators merely look on, as has been the case in Canada since Hamas's October 7th terrorist attacks on Israel, it's clear that something is wrong in the academy." That goes without saying, I guess. Let me continue. "Universities need to get serious again, a characteristic that was abandoned by adopting the ideologies of diversity, equity, inclusion, which is DEI, identitarianism, decolonization, and anti-racism." Now, I studied at university for the better part of 7 full years, several decades ago, of course, and none of these things were part of our studies. They never came up. We were more interested in passing our math exams, our chemistry exams, our business exams, our law exams, as I studied in both the honors business administration program and the legal program to get degrees in both. But we never studied things like this. Let me go on. Instead of pursuing free inquiry and judging people for what they do, not for what they look like, post-secondary institutions now pursue any system of thought that attempts to redistribute benefits and privileges from oppressors to the oppressed. A vocal chunk of our student body, our next generation, of lawyers, doctors, and political leaders appear to agree that violence is acceptable means to this end. Recent weeks have seen Canadian university students cheering on Hamas, their barbarous attacks on innocent victims, innocent civilians, which left 1,400 dead, many of them violently raped and dismembered, and they're ripping down posters on campuses depicting the hostages who are still being held by the terrorists. Wow. Now, what are they saying here? They're saying that our manner of thinking is completely different to what it used to be. Let me read a couple more paragraphs as this article continues on page A16. On a grander scale, academics often attack Israel's legitimacy. Earlier this year, 4 Canadian professors wrote an article chastising university presidents for visiting their counterparts in Israel. In brackets, it goes against academic freedom, they say. Really? I'll go on. This normalization of discrimination in the name of diversity, equity, and inclusion has been pushed by the federal government and fully embraced by Canadian universities. Now, just paraphrasing, now you have to be of a distinct race or a color to be considered for a university position. So here's another comment in the article. This harkens back to a time when Jews were barred from many academic positions, only now it's done in the name of diversity and inclusion. This is bad news. These are perilous times. We have university, I'm paraphrasing or just giving you some of my thoughts here. We have universities who are supporting the oppressors, the Hamas, and calling out the nation of Israel as the oppressors. They're the ones being oppressed. They're the ones being attacked. They're the ones who initially were killed. Of course, they have retaliated, and their retaliation has been extreme. And so now we have distinct protests going on, police having to be called in to protect citizens, as we have so many people supporting the oppressors, the Hamas, the Palestinians. Now, there's a distinction here, obviously. We have terrorists who are embedded within the population, and probably most of the population is innocent and not at fault. But they elected these people as their leaders, and they have been suppressed by them for the better part of 20 years. This is a mess. These are perilous times. These are times that the Bible forecasts and predicts in 2 Timothy chapter 3 as a for instance. It reads there that men will become lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boasters, proud, blasphemers. Goes on to say they will be unloving, unforgiving, slanderers, will have no self-control. They'll be brutal, despisers of good, traitors, headstrong, haughty, and so on. Well, that's what we've got in our society today. So this article is commenting on the fact that our universities are fostering an environment where the next generation of leaders are coming out with tainted views on how to deal with things. I'll close with this comment. How do you define free speech? Well, university campus students from the Ivy League schools said it this way: free speech is your right to say anything as long as I agree with it. Folks, these are perilous times. The Bible predicts them. These are examples of them. We're living in them. They're touching all of us. We just don't know it. We're very close to the very end. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for joining today. Bye for now.